This is a live Channels Television event.
As you can see, we just ended our security meeting. I think the first one in 2-3 weeks now. Really to brief ourselves and to take further steps on the current situation. So coming out from this meeting, I just have a few points and just to read some of our deliberations going forward. So dear Lagosians, good afternoon once again. I'm here again to update you on the COVID-19 situation in Lagos State, as well as the latest steps we are taking to tackle this disease that has thrown much of the world into disarray. Since my last address to you on Sunday, March 22nd, 2020, we have seen an increase in the number of confirmed cases nationwide, with Lagos still leading the pack with the most number of newly confirmed cases. Here in Lagos, we have seen a jump in our number from 19 on Sunday afternoon to 29 as at this briefing now. This shows that the numbers are increasing as predicted, but we're also proactive and promptly tackling the isolation and managing the suspected cases. All of our confirmed cases at the infectious disease hospital in Yaba. I'm pleased to note that all of them are doing well and are all in stable condition. As I mentioned last time that we spoke on Sunday, we've identified other isolation centers across the 5 divisions, meaning in Ikeja, Badagry, Ikorodu, and Lagos Island. In fact, we are also preparing 2 locations at Bagada and another one just by here at Onike to ensure that we have a seamless, coordinated approach towards a quick identification and isolation of suspected cases without overwhelming what we have in Yaba. Fellow Lagosians, today I have also further new directives and guidelines to share with you as follows. We want to employ the organized private sector to encourage as many of their workers that are possible to work from home. Banks and other financial institutions are encouraged to prioritize online channels for their services to the public, with all essential key staff being in the office during this time. Only key staff, we want to employ them. The Chief Judge of Lagos State has also been directed to ensure that all magistrate and high courts are closed immediately to public and to suspend all court sittings as much as possible. Only essential services should be transacted electronically. All public parks, including those in private and residential estates, swimming pools, gym, workout stations, in all public places are expected to be shut down at this time until further notice. All markets and stores, except markets that are selling food items, water, medicines, pharmacies, medical equipment, and other related essential life-saving products, daily life products, are hereby directed to close effective from Thursday, 26th March 2020 for 7 days at the first instance. I'm sure we're clear with that directive. All fast foods, eateries, restaurants are enjoined to serve takeaway for all their customers, with no in-dining service permitted whatsoever. Shops in malls that are not selling any of these initially mentioned food items, medical equipment, essential daily needs, they are all meant to also close down from Thursday, 26th of March 2020. And I want to say that the compliance of this directive will be fully enforced by all our security operatives. We're also planning to extend our shopping channels by using some of our open spaces in some of our closed schools, meaning that we want to open up more markets in some of our schools. And this will all be food markets for people to have access to food and essentials. This will start in 2 days' time, and we'll tell you where all these markets will be in these new school spaces. I also want to urge that travel to and from Lagos, whether by road or by air, be avoided at this time. The federal government has also advised residents of Lagos and Abuja to stay put where they are. And I would like to reiterate that this is in strongest terms possible. As much as possible, let us refrain from interstate traveling of any kind until the worst of this crisis is behind us. As already stated, and I want to reiterate, let us refrain from gathering or congregation of any kind at all times, and where it is absolutely necessary for people to gather, we're changing that directive effective from Thursday from 50 to 25, meaning that from Thursday we do not expect to have gathering more than 50 again, or 25. Now it's a time to be, now it's not the time for meeting friends, planning dates or weddings of any kind, or any social event for that matter. We're enjoining you to stay at home and stay away from gatherings as much as you can. It will help you, and it will also help us to do our own job. Anyone caught flouting any of these directives, as well as the previously issued directives, will have the full law to contend with. As I mentioned, law enforcement agencies and other relevant state protection agencies have been empowered with the power to deal with offenders or recreant citizens. We will not relent in ensuring strict compliance with all of these directives. I would also like to use this opportunity to thank all those who have complied with the stay-at-home order and other directives thus far. I urge you to continue to do that. Let me also specially thank our road transport workers who have heeded all the call on implementing social distancing within our parks and motor stations, as well as various heads of open market, our Iyawolojas and Mamawolojas. And I want to thank everybody for sensitizing themselves at various vicinities and associations. This is a collective effort, and with all cooperation, we will achieve the desired goal of arresting this disease in its tracks and prevent it from escalating to an unimaginable outbreak. Fellow Lagosians, as I've said previously, these are indeed changing times, and we need to act responsively and urgent to ensure that we put all of our precautionary measures at the highest level and do it right all of the time. I'm also not unaware that these directives will have consequences, and it's also a means of what you say personal freedom as well as your fundamental human rights. However, as you can imagine, the Constitution or any law for that matter would never have envisaged that we will be dealing with coronavirus now. And so the doctrine of necessity is being evoked to allow us roll out these restrictive measures to protect and secure our state and its people. Let me conclude by saying that Lagos has shown, and I imagine will continue to show, incredible strength and resilience in the face of challenges. And this is what makes us a different set of people. I'm assured that we will win this battle as we've won others before this. And I'm confident that with all your support, and most importantly, by the special grace of God, this also will pass us soon, very, very shortly. We're open to a few questions or clarifications from me or other members of my team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The very first question here.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Governor. I'm Sheyi from United and I report for Lagos Television. So from all this new set of guidelines you've released today, will it be safe to conclude that this is a total lockdown on Lagos State?
I'm
Kazim from PM News. My question is, currently, you want to know the number of contacts you are tracing right now. And again, some civil servants who are below level 12, many of them are still at work right now, including my wife, level 9. She's still at work. Civil Service Commission, they were asked to come to work by all means.
Okay, so I can answer that one very quickly. If your wife is at work at 9, she certainly must be on essential service. It must be a one-off case, right, as against the rule, right? And I would certainly want to know why, but it must be that she's on an essential activity, or maybe she's holding some keys that are critical to that ministry, and those were the directives we give, right? From levels 1 to 12 are meant to have total stay at home. The Commissioner for Health will tell us how many cases we're tracking right now. The first question was, is this a total lockdown? No, it's not. We still want people to move only for essential services. We still want people to have the discretion to know that it's only if it is important and critical that you move, that you must move. But if you do not have a need or a reason to leave your location, please stay at home. That's the best that you can do for your family, for yourself, and for us to ensure that we can do the job and do it well. So, and that's why we're extending the coverage of the lockdown from Thursday 26, like I said, to all markets, but except the ones that I've given exceptions to, that are selling food and essential household materials and medical equipment that we might need to restock or might need to deal with. So, Commissioner, how many people are we tracking right now? So we're still doing about 1,800 people that we're tracking. Any other question?
If COVID-19 is airborne, we have reports that it can stay in the air for 3 hours, and then we're still getting messages that this is not airborne. We want clarification if COVID-19 is airborne. I also want to ask on the level of testing, that how many tests can be conducted in a day? The last time the commissioner spoke with us, they said Lagos is tracing 1,300, and you said 1,800 people. So how many tests can be conducted in a day? How many results are we getting? What is the capacity of attending to tests to people? Thank you.
Let's quickly just take the last one. And
My name is Maritala Lara from New Telegraph newspaper. I'm interested in what happened to those who use our waterways, sir. The idea of people changing life jacket after they use it at every time, as long as we don't know who has COVID-19, I think it's not safe enough. I want to know what Lagos State government is doing on that, sir. Then earlier today, the Honorable Commissioner for Transportation said downfall drivers should not carry more than 8 passengers. I do not know how Lagos State government will enforce that. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Some of these things are, thank you. Some of these things are directives that we hope and we believe that people will self-regulate and comply with. These are very difficult times. These are very, very difficult moments. It behoves on us as responsible. I'm hoping I will comply, right? And if we do not have compliance, that's why we have the men of the National Union of Road Transport Workers working with. We certainly can escalate and get to know what this, we can get to the root of this. Regarding the issues around tests, and how we're doing, the Honorable Commissioner will answer that. But you ask a very important question around life jackets, and our waterways. I imagine that it shouldn't be at risk, right? If you are properly kit, if it's not that the person that have used the life jacket is at risk, I do not think that should constitute a risk, for you, because you need to have a life jacket on if you are going on the waterways, and we cannot say that every one person that have used a life jacket must throw it away or discard it, and that, but if you are a regular user and you have your life jacket, right, it will also not be out of place for you to have one, and that's what you're using. But I imagine that the life jacket should not constitute a risk, every time one person uses. But I'll allow the commissioner, to confirm, Sorry? Well, I mean, so like I said, we also can sanitize, even the life jackets, if you feel that, I mean, just like with the disinfectant, each time you use. So how many tests?
We're currently escalating our testing capacity now to 3 centers, and each center is able to test between 50 and 80. So by the time those 3 centers are active, we should be able to test about 120 samples a day. The tests I'm talking about are the molecular tests, which is a very accurate test. It's 100% accurate. It's either the virus is there or it's not there, which is quite different from the rapid test kits that are circulating on social media. We still have to evaluate these rapid tests because not all of them are precise enough to give us the information that we want. And it can be quite dangerous for a test to give you a positivity when you're actually negative, or to tell you you're negative when you're actually positive. So right now we're still relying on our accurate tests in our laboratory at Yaba, Luth, and the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research. When it comes to testing, we're not testing all our contacts. We're only testing the contacts that develop symptoms, because we have to be careful about how we use the 120 tests that we have a day. We want to maintain these for patients that actually need to be tested for us to know whether they have the coronavirus or not, which defines how we manage them. So that's our testing strategy. No, it is not airborne. It is droplet-borne. So if I sneeze, it will remain in the air for a few seconds until the droplets fall to the ground. It does not remain suspended in the air. So in precise definition, it is not airborne. It is rather droplet-borne, and it remains active on some surfaces for a few hours.
I'm Mary Alale Yusuf from Channels Television. You said effective Thursday, markets are going to be closed, markets and shops, except for those selling food, medicine, and related items. But you also said that you're going to set up markets in school spaces. So I want to know what this is about and what form is it going to take?
Yes, the market are food markets as well. I said so. I said they are food markets. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to decentralize the food market, the essential market that people need on a day-to-day basis. We're trying to decentralize people needing to travel longer distance before they can get food supplies, water, or essential medicines. We're trying to decentralize. So that's why we want to use some of our closed down schools facility, right? So that will be like an open farm market, right? Maybe 2 or 3 times a week, where people can come and do bulk purchase of vegetables, fruits, and all of it. So some of the things, and we're working with the food produce so that you don't need to travel long distance, and you don't have to enter vehicles to go look for, to stock up your food items. Thank you.
Sure. Mr. Governor, if I could ask, my name is Adifemi Akinsanya from Arise News. Is that better? Better? Adifemi Akinsanya, Arise News. Mr. Governor, you said that the directives you've issued today don't constitute a total lockdown. However, naturally, we can expect that there will be economic and financial ramifications for people who need to go out to work. To any type of financial support to people who will make any type of financial losses, and also to the Health Commissioner. Of the 1,800 cases, how many have been found? So contact cases, that is.
Well, okay, so in life, things do happen. So you are making a financial loss for a week as against staying alive for the rest of your life. So that's why I'm saying that we're closing them down at first instance for 7 days. So meaning that it's not open-ended. It's not something that we do into perpetuity. We want to be real with ourselves. Ask you to slow down for a week, not even a month. Say that is your lifeline, right? 7 days will not hurt anyone, even financially. But even for us, we've shut down the civil service, and we have to do that, because it's only when you have a life that you really can also talk about your financial, adequacies and all of it. So we will review it after a week. if we see a slowdown or a calm down, then certainly we'll get back to work. I mean, we do not want to shut down. We just want to be proactive. We want people to just calm down the spread so that we can truly really get to where we need to get to quicker and faster and be able to manage it.
So out of the positive cases we have in Lagos, majority are imported, about 20. 5 of the rest are contacts that we've been tracing, and the remaining 5 are just cases that we have no idea where they acquired the infection. So at the moment, majority is still imported. We're now beginning to see evidence of spread within the community where we don't know where the contact has taken place.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. We'll take one more question and we'll wrap it up for today, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Aaron Ijaso. I work with TVC News. My concern is if by now we don't have a total lockdown in Lagos. As a reporter, sir? If you're not announcing a total lockdown right now as we speak, as a reporter, I've tried to go round to sample people's opinion. Many people don't actually still believe that there's anything like coronavirus. Is there anything the state is doing, maybe a door-to-door approach to ensure that they enlighten people, to ensure that they are aware of the reality that we have on ground?
Okay, you're talking about...
Sir, she says that a lot don't believe that, like, that she's wondering, you know, there shouldn't be a total lockdown in the state for the people to know actually that there is.
So we are, we're a subset of a sovereign. We're not a sovereign, right? So a lockdown meaning that people cannot even travel from Ibadan to in here, or they cannot come from, you know, Enugu. That's and there could be an emergency. And it also has a lot of other economic implications, like we said. We're not the set of people that have means to have stock up for a very long time. We know what our poverty line is, and I'm a very realistic leader, right? So I do not want or pretend to say that we have the capacity of other climates in which people have that economic independence and they have that economic powers to be able to stand on their own. So we need to be considerate of that as we are fighting corona, we're also not fighting hunger. So people, that's the balance we need to make, right? But as a reporter, like you said, your responsibility is continue to activate your level of communication. If you need to say it 20 times on your channels, please do it for us. It will not hurt you if you just continue to communicate it and communicate it effectively, you know, on a 10 minutes basis. And we're using all channels, every channel available, from community-based to traditional rulers, to everybody to know that it is real and it is and it's a serious thing. You know, it's only when we continue to put that conversation out that the reality will come. And we're seeing compliance. You know, we've seen you even from your own stations where people at Mile 2 Market, you know, complying, people in buses complying. We just need to scale it up and slow down the movement, you know, just so that people stay back and let us be able to track and be able to get to places we need to get to quicker and faster. That's all we're trying to do.
Mr. Governor, sir, please, that you, for the purpose of the multitude of our people, just a recap of what we have done here today in Yoruba in just 2 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Fún àwọn ará wa ní èdè Yorùbá, a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ parí ìpàdé àwọn lọ́gàlọ́gà ti òṣìṣẹ́ security ní Lagos State, ìdáàbòbò ní Lagos State. Ìtawà mú jáde nínú ẹ̀ ní pé òfin má fara kàn mí tá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó yìí ń lọ, òfin má súnmọ́ mi jù, má fi ikọ́ ràn mí, má bà mí lọ́wọ́ púpọ̀, àwọn òfin yẹn lọ. A dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí àwọn aráàlú wa kọ́ mọ̀ pé ẹ̀rùn kòrónà tá à ń sọ yìí ó ti wà láàrin wa, ó dẹ̀ di dandan pé ká ṣe gbogbo àtúnṣe tó yẹ ká ṣe. Ní ẹ̀kíní nínú ẹ̀ ní pé láti ọ̀túnla lọ, gbogbo àwọn ilé ọjà tó jẹ́ pé ilé ọjà tí wọ́n ní ṣe pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ jíjẹ àbí àwọn ilé ọjà tó yẹ pé wọ́n ń ta àwọn ohun ìgbín ti hospital, gbogbo wọn tó bá ní ṣe pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó ń jẹ oúnjẹ tàbí nǹkan tá à ń mu pé kán jókòó sílé fún ọ̀sẹ̀ kan. Eléyìí jẹ́ pé ìta gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe láti dá díẹ̀ dúró nínú bí àrùn yìí ṣe ń gbòòrò láàrin ìlú sí, and ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé nǹkan tó máa ṣe wá ní àǹfààní gidigidi gan tí a bá fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba lórí àrùn yìí. A dẹ̀ tún sọ náà pé gbogbo ta máa ń kóra wa jọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká rẹ́lẹ̀ gidigidi gan pé ibi tá ò bá yẹ ká lọ ẹ má yẹ ká lọ, ìpàdé tí ò bá yẹ ká kò tí ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ sí ìpàdé kankan, kò gbọ́dọ̀ sí pé ọmọ èèyàn pé kàn ń ṣe ìkómọ, ó ń ṣe ìgbéyàwó, ó ń ṣe ká dáwọ́ ẹ̀ dúró fún ọ̀sẹ̀ kan ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì. A dẹ̀ ní pé ìyẹn ò lè pa wá lára nítorí pé àrùn tó wà ń tà sí yìí àrùn má kàn mí ni, má gbà mí lọ́wọ́, àdẹ̀mọ́ ibi tó ti ń wá, ṣùgbọ́n àìsàn burúkú kò ní délé wa o. La fi sọ pé kí gbogbo wa ká jókòó sílé fún ọ̀sẹ̀ kan fún ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì, ká bá lè jáde síta láti lọ ran àwọn tó yẹ ká ràn lọ́wọ́, ká bá lè ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́. Gómìnà ìjọba ti gbé ìmọ̀ oríṣiríṣi jáde tó máa fi jẹ́ pé a máa lè mọ àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ ìrànlọ́wọ́ yìí gangan, ká bá lè tètè dọ́dọ̀ wọn. A rí pé àìsàn tó wá láti àwọn ìlú kan látòkè òkun ni, a dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wá bá ṣe máa dáwọ́ ẹ̀ dúró, ṣùgbọ́n kò mọ olówó, kò mọ tálíkà, kò mọ ẹni tó ń gbé ní Mushin, kò mọ ẹni tó ń gbé lájẹgúlẹ̀, kò mọ ẹni tó ń gbé Sùúrẹ́, kò mọ ẹni tó ń gbé ní Kòròdú, kò mọ ẹni tó ń gbé ní Badagry, kó nílé kó sọ fún toko ni, ká bá lè gbọ́ náà la fi sọ pé kí gbogbo wa ká fọwọ́ ẹ̀ dúró, ká dẹ̀ ní sùúrù, ká fọwọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba pé láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà lágbára Ọlọ́run eléyìí náà á borí ẹ̀, kò ní jẹ́ pé wàhálà àìsàn kò ní dúró láàrin ilé wa àti láàrin ìlú wa o. Ẹ ṣé o.